Have you ever been misunderstood or judged because of a mental health or physical condition, or even because of a certain situation you were going through? How did it make you feel? Did you lash out, retreat into your shell, or excel? I'm Chrissy B, and welcome to the UK's only TV show dedicated to mental health and well-being. And today we'll be homing in on this topic of being misunderstood. My guest today is 18-year-old Liam Burgess, who was diagnosed with Asperger's, ADHD, dyslexia and dyspraxia at the age of 7. By 9 years old, he was finding school life very hard. He was bullied and permanently excluded from his mainstream school and put on a register for likely young offenders. However, when he found a supportive environment, he flourished, and he'll be telling us about the amazing things he's achieved. And Liam is actually here with our resident autism news correspondent, Anna Kennedy. To give us her input on how we can deal with being misunderstood, we have clinical psychologist Dr Nihara Krause. And news correspondent Helena Chard brings us positive news in this week's A Helping of Happy. Fitness expert Natalia Kotowska will be taking us through the workout of the week, and Dr Rob Hicks will be answering your medical questions in this week's Drs Answers. We then have nutritionist Severin Menem showing us a healthy recipe, and finally we'll be treated to Liam singing a cappella Waving Through the Window from Dear Evan Hansen. So let's get straight to Liam Burgess and Anna Kennedy. So welcome to the show, Anna and Liam.
Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to have you both on. So Liam, we're going to be speaking to you in just a moment, but let's first get the updates from Anna. What's been going on, Anna?
Well, I feel like I've been in a whirl. That's why I've got my pad to remind me of what I've been doing. Because it's been Autism Awareness Week and Autism Awareness Month. So I've been travelling across the country. I went to Sutton Coldfield to officially open a shop, and it was to do with clothing that had been specially adapted for children with disability. So a lady that I met a couple of years ago, she said it was something she wanted to do, and she did it.
Wonderful.
So I went to officially open, and we went to Terminal 3. So we've been working with Heathrow Airport, and they finally opened a sensory room there. And it looks amazing. It's got the Mr. Men, and there's just a few more things that they need to do, but they're actually going to be rolling it out across all the terminals.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you were going on holiday and you're going to Terminal 3, you don't have to book. You can just ask where the kids' play area is, and then there's a sensory room, and then there's another area for climbing and all the things that kids like to do. And ask for a lanyard as well, the sunflower lanyard, so that will help you fast track. So you don't have to stand in queue. So a lot of people don't know about that, so that's something that's really useful. Also, we went to the Apple store, which was amazing, at Covent Garden. So when the doors were open, our guys were singing, people were walking off the street, it was getting packed. It was amazing. I was so proud of them. There was tears rolling, and they've invited us back again next year.
Oh, amazing.
So that's so exciting. So I was really
Brilliant.
proud of them.
So how did you meet Liam here, Anna?
Well, I met Liam through Autism's Got Talent, and he blew everyone away. What was the song that he sang?
I sung Stars from Les Miserables.
Wow, okay. And now you brought Liam on for a special reason, because I know, Liam, you've been through quite a lot in your life. Before you're actually supported, you were going to a school and you had quite a hard time. Can you tell us about that?
So I went to a mainstream school where they did not have the correct support for people with my type of autism, and I just couldn't cope in a normal classroom setting. I found it very stressful and quite scary, and I got quite naughty and I misbehaved a lot, and it just got to the point where I was excluded permanently from that school.
Wow. You were bullied as well, weren't you, there?
Yes, a lot.
Bullied as well, misunderstood.
Misunderstood,
right?
bullied.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
How did that used to make you feel?
Worthless, really, really sad. Affected me a lot.
Okay. And then, but then you actually found a school that was very supportive. Can you tell us about, how it was there and why you excelled so much, actually?
Yes, so after a year of trying to get into this school, I finally got in, and they just understand every pupil's need there, and they don't give up, and they help your individual needs. And just throughout the years, I got the correct support and learned to handle my autism, and now,
And it's given you a lot of confidence, has it now?
Yes, a lot of confidence.
Wonderful. And how did you discover this talent for singing then?
So singing for me when I was young was my way of expressing my feelings and emotions. So it was quite a personal thing for me, singing.
Yeah. Now you're going to be singing for us later on. What have you chosen and why?
So I'm singing Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen, and I just found the lyrics really connected with me and about my past.
Yeah, it's very important, isn't it? That expression as well while you're singing, and it's something that sort of strikes a chord with you.
Yeah.
But you have achieved quite a lot. I'm sure I know what are some of the things that Liam's achieved?
Well, obviously, he's been singing on Autism's Got Talent. He's been on the road shows. He also sang at an award ceremony where I was being given an award, and he got a standing ovation. Do you know what's great about Liam? He's so kind. And when we were at Autism's Got Talent behind stage, you could see maybe some of them were a little bit nervous. He'd go up to them and calm their nerves and talk to them. He's just got a real empathetic way about him. And now you've left home, haven't you?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh. Into the big wide world.
Oh, yes.
You're at college?
I am at college, yes. I'm at a student accommodation with 6 other people from my college.
Wow, wonderful.
So, yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Okay.
Performing
wonderful.
arts, so he's doing something he really loves.
Oh, it's amazing. What about future plans, Liam? What do you want to do?
Well, hopefully I'm going to be continuing college for the next 3 years and hopefully sustain a career in the performing arts.
Wonderful.
Which would be amazing.
And you actually like helping other people as well, don't you?
Yes.
Supporting them. Can you tell us a bit about that? What do you like? Why do you like to do that?
I think I just like to help people out because I know that when I was younger I didn't get help.
Yeah.
And now I want to be able to help others that might not be getting it.
Yeah. And you understand what they go through, so that's the best kind of support someone can have, isn't it? Amazing. And it's so nice that when someone actually gets this kind of support and you just see such a difference. And
I know, and that's all it is. It's just about getting the right support early on, and that's why they talk about early intervention all the time with reference to autism. And his brothers sing as well. So his mum is actually not here at the moment because she's at the Albert Hall with your 2 brothers, and they're singing with Alfie Bohr. So that's exciting.
That is very exciting.
So it's a very talented family.
Yeah, amazing. Brilliant. Well, it's lovely speaking to you, Liam. And Anna, any updates, anything else to tell us about before you go?
Well, we're obviously planning for Autumn's Got Talent. It's only a few days to go, so the excitement is building. So we have been practicing for the finale, and I've been practicing with the scholars from Pineapple, and they're showing me a thing or two because I'm dancing with them. So do you know what? We're so excited, but we're doing something from Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we're doing a medley of 3 different. So I'm dancing, they're singing, and the pressure is on for me because I have to keep up with them because they're just so talented. And you know what? It's
I'm
great.
sure you do fine. You're very talented.
Yeah, but it's great watching them get on together because obviously they didn't know each other before they went to the scholarship and Autumn's Got Talent, and they've just become like this little family, and it's just so great watching them and you know, the friendships that have developed. So I'm really proud of them. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to Autumn's Got Talent. I'll be buzzing when I come back.
Yeah, and you give us lots of updates when you get back as well. Thank you so much, Anna, my love.
Thank you.
Liam, you're going to stay with us because you're going to sing later on.
Yes.
And then we're looking forward to that, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. So now it's time to go to clinical psychologist Dr Nihara Krause with advice on dealing with being misunderstood. Welcome to the show, Nihara.
Oh, it's lovely to be here.
So we're talking about being misunderstood. Can you tell us what kind of issues this can cause a person when they're actually not really understood? For example, if they have a mental health issue or something else.
Well, I suppose being misunderstood can arise either because people lack understanding or don't recognise your condition, or because of a breakdown of communication. And I think that the causes can be many, so often people might feel very hurt because there's a relationship that perhaps isn't working in the way that they would like to. They might worry a lot about making a mistake. It might make them over careful about making the same mistake, so they might withdraw, they might kind of, breakdown of trust might happen. And ultimately, I suppose they might become over cautious about what other people think.
Okay. And how can a person actually cope with those things and cope with being judged as such?
Okay, so I suppose my my instinctive answer to that would be to say, you have to rise above it. But actually, coping with being judged is a lot more complex than we think. So first of all, I guess what I would say is, if you are being judged, be honest with yourself. Take a step back and think, is this about me or is this about the other person? So if it's about you, then you need to be a bit honest with yourself, and you need to say, actually, is there something I need to take back as feedback, particularly if other people are saying the same thing about me. And if that's the case, then perhaps it's about learning some new ways to communicate. It might be that what you say doesn't always kind of get heard in the way that you say it, so you need to start to think a bit about that, think a little bit about how you come across, and bring about that change and test it and see how it works for you. If it isn't you, if it is that a lot of other people don't understand you, and therefore they somehow either gang up together, or there's a person who kind of deliberately wants to put you down because it makes them maybe feel better about themselves, then absolutely rise above that. Start thinking about building your self-confidence. Say to yourself, you're unique. And if this particular group doesn't work for you, there will always be another one. So, I think absolutely take heed of it and move on and find the right setting for you.
I'm glad you covered both the angles there, because sometimes, this show is also about self-improvement. And sometimes we do want people to understand us and, sympathise sometimes and help and everything, but we also have to do what we need to do. Absolutely. And like you said, if there's things that we are causing ourselves, but we can't always be the victims as such and start saying, oh, well, it's other people and look how they're treating me. What about us? It's true. We need to look at ourselves as well.
We have to self-reflect sometimes. It's not easy. It's quite hurtful sometimes.
It's breaking your pride.
Absolutely. But it is the way of learning, isn't it? It's a way of learning, and it's a way of actually then adding tools to your toolkit and being more resilient to other challenges as they come along.
Wonderful. Nihara, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again very soon.
Look forward.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, so after the break, we have our news correspondent, Helena Chard, with this week's A Helping of Happy, bringing you positive news. And fitness expert Natalia Kotowska takes us through this week's simple but effective workout. I decided on a dance because dance, crosses all barriers.
It's very inspirational, and it sort of let out the feelings of mental health.
The dance helps you express yourself and your feelings, and that you can tell someone about how you feel, except from being scared.
It actually aims to encourage people to open up and get the help that they need without the fear of being stigmatised.
You can express emotions through the dance.
Everyone should have the right to feel happy.
Good morning, are you excited about today?
Today we are at Brookman's Primary School.
I'm here today with years 5 and 6 at St Michael's Church of England School in Bishop Stortford.
Hi everyone, today we're here at Hillingdon Manors School.
MHD Challenge, Mental Health Dance in Studio 68.
This has been Hendon School for the MHD Challenge.
Today we're at Oxywood Primary School to do the MHD Challenge.
Because I know what it feels like to be depressed and feel heavy all the time, but I also know what it feels like to be on the other side and completely recovered. I don't want anyone to have to learn to live with depression and other mental health issues when they don't have to. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, your age. Everyone can get involved in dancing.
No one necessarily remembers their best maths lesson that they've had or their best literacy lesson, but I think they'll remember their best mental health dance challenge that they've had.
What did you think of the dance when you first heard of it?
I thought it was going to be amazing.
Like you don't talk about it, you could like keeping all those worries in can cause like depression and anxiety.
I think it's very important so that people know what's going on, and also know like how to fight it, and so they know that they can talk to people and don't feel scared.
Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. So now it's time for a helping of happy with the lovely Helena Chard. Welcome to the show, Helena.
Thank you.
What positive news do you have for us today?
Well, I've got a variety of stories. Beginning with television presenter Cary Grant and her vocal coach husband, David. They've been talking about their big family, which is very, very, very colourful, and they've been married for 30 years, which is good for them.
Yeah.
They have 4 children and they all have complex needs. It's quite an interesting story. And they talk about when they're together, it's completely mad, it's wonderful, passionate, and they wouldn't have it any other way. Unless the children sometimes do get upset, but still they love it. But the interesting thing is, she always has people, when they hang around them, they all want to be part of their gang.
Really?
And she says that people that feel that they don't fit in always fit in with them. So that's what she's noticed. And one of the things they find quite hard though is they find it hard to relate to other parents sometimes, because they're talking about SATs and exams and things. And she's saying that, she just doesn't even know whether her children are going to make it into adulthood, which makes her sad, but it really puts everything into perspective.
Yeah.
And they've got a really loving family. It's a much bigger story, but it's just the little hints, the hints which are nice. And moving on to an entire town united and became autism friendly. So an entire town, this is in Southern Ireland, Clonakilty, beautiful. It's like a beach, it's on awards, nice. It's really, really nice. But in order to achieve the title, 212 organisations had to put 4 things into place, and it was done with As I Am charity. Now the 4 things are, so erecting maps and visual guides of the facilities, making sure that buildings were opening to service dogs, setting up relaxation zones for visitors and guests, that's when they're overwhelmed in surroundings, and establishing quiet time periods, adjusted environment for visitors with sensory issues. But it's amazing that this little place has done that, because they're sort of championing it, and now everywhere in Ireland.
That's a big thing to do, actually.
It is, isn't it? And they've also, there's been lots of autism-friendly training for staff members, workers, but now everyone's looking at it and trying to roll it out. So it's really, I think, fantastic. Now this I find very bizarre, but I thought I'd mention it. So there's an organisation in Japan called Rent a Sister. And it's to coax Japan's young reclusive men, so sort of 18 to 35-year-olds, out of their bedrooms.
Okay.
There's a name for these young men called hikikomori, and they're people that have withdrawn from society.
Okay.
There's a small amount of women as well, but it's mainly men. And there's not a proper medical diagnosis or treatment, but people have been researching it, and it's normally pressure to succeed financially, depressed, and because it's a different society, there's a lot of shame.
So parents have found that these boys have been, I mean, we're talking decades. There was one parent talking about it, and the son had been in his room for 25 years.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's just incredible, it's so sad. So Rent Assisters is a charitable thing, and they literally do coax them out of their room just by talking.
Yeah.
They're not trained, but it's a new way. It's seen as shame, so the parents can't help and the family can't help, but these girls spend a long time trying to communicate, even just putting letters under the door.
Yeah.
So eventually they do talk. It takes 6 to 12 months just to gain trust.
Wow.
And it really does work, because they don't teach them, but they make them realise that, you know, it's okay to feel the way you do, it's okay to be who you are, and then from there they move forward. I mean, they move out of the house. They can't reintegrate straight away, but there's another charity called New Start Dormitory. So they move in together and they pay rent, they do charitable work, and they can't have their phones, they can't do video games, and when they watch TV, they have to be together. And now the good news is that the Japanese government are really looking into it to try and find out what they can do, because there's 1 million plus people. I mean, it's just huge, isn't it? Hikamore, that's the name of the young boy.
So nice the way the charities are working together, like one sort of, well, some people get them to come out and then the other one takes over. That's really nice.
No, I think it's amazing. And just quickly,
yes,
conjoined twin sisters Nima and Dawa, 16 months old, are now separated. So they've had their operation, and they really sort of can't stop snuggling. So that's just a little good news one too. So lots more, but as always, I think possibly have run out of time.
Thank you, Helena, my darling. You can do it next week.
Yes, I will do.
All right, see you.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, so now it's time for our workout of the week with Natalia Kotowska.
Hey guys, it's me Natalia Kotowska and can do it with Nat. As you can see, today we're gonna do some boxing exercise, something completely different, but I believe a great workout. So I have my assistant here, Krause, who's gonna present us the moves that I will try to teach you guys. So you need simple pads that you can buy in any store, sports store for 10-15 pounds, and simple gloves. Positions. I'm gonna face Krause. He's gonna throw basic 2 punches that we call a jab and a backhand or cross. So Krause, jab, backhand. 1, 2, there you go. 2 simple punches, straight punches, full elbow extension, look through your shoulder, use your hips, use your core, and a backhand. So you wanna more likely look like that. You're using your core, tuck your belly button in, use your hips, use your legs. Yeah, 1, 2, Krause, let's go. 1, 2, there you go. And again, 1, 2. Now if I say 4, we're gonna go for 4. Let's go, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. You wanna breathe out every time you punch. So try to breathe out while you throw punches. Breathe out while you throw punches. 4 punches, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. 2 simple punches. Again, jab and the backhand or cross. Now we're gonna go for 2 more. 2 hooks, hooks, side, side. You aiming for, let me show it to you, cheeks, if we go for a head. So think about that. 2 hooks, let's go, Krause. 1, 2, there you go. Let's go again, 1, 2, and again. Use your hips, whichever side you wanna go for, there you go. Hip rotation is very important. Side, side, shifting your weight, rotating, rotating, yeah? And again, 2, hop, hop, there you go. 1 more time, hop, hop. And the last 2, we call them uppercuts. So again, because we go for a head, we wanna aim for that chin. So uppercut from underneath, underneath. Again, we're squatting to it, using our hips, going up, up. Let's go, Krause. 2 uppercuts, hop, hop, and again, hop, hop. Perfect. So we have 4 simple punches. 4, jab, backhand, hook, and uppercut. 4 simple punches that we're gonna present you right now in one order, yeah? So jab, backhand, hook, uppercut. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Underneath. 1 more time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. 1 more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, once you've got those 4 punches, you can mix the tempo, you can mix the power. We want to go for a speed because we want to burn those calories, increase our heart rate. So we're going to go for 4 straight punches, and then for our combo, which is jab, backhand, hook, and uppercut. So let's go, Carlos. 4 straight punches, and then jab, backhand, hook, uppercut. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so from the beginning, jab, backhand, hook, uppercut. Yeah, one more time. 4 straight punches, and then jab, backhand, hook, uppercut. Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again. 1, jab, starting from the jab. Again. It's okay, it's something new, something difficult. So again, straight 4 punches, then we're gonna go jab, backhand, hook, and uppercut, yeah? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. One more time, the same thing. Straight 4, jab, backhand, hook, and uppercut. Yeah, let's go, Carlos. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hop, 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 hop. Add the speed to it, even faster. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hop, hop. Again, let's get it done, let's get it done. Let's show it to our viewers. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hop, 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 hop. And one more time, let's go. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hop, 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 hop. There you go. As you can see, simple workout, but it's very, very effective and very hard. So you can go 4 punches, any punches you want, mix them all up, work for 3 minutes straight. 3 minutes straight, because that's how long the boxing round is. So try to work for those punches 3 minutes straight, okay? And then you can mix up the tempo, mix the speed, mix the power and the speed. So you want to work on your explosive movement with the power shots. How do you feel, Carlos?
I feel good.
Good? You think like the workout would work for you?
It's working.
We want those abs, we want those strong hands. So let's get it done, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much to Natalia there. So after the break, we go to Severine Menem, who'll be showing us a nutritious and delicious recipe, and Dr Rob Hicks will be answering your medical questions, including this one. Due to my busy lifestyle, I'm considering registering with an online medical practice. Would you recommend this? Find out what Rob has to say after this. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, host of the UK's only TV programme dedicated to mental health and well-being, The Chrissy B Show, which airs on MyTV Sky 191 every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Follow our social media on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter at Chrissy B Show, and our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. For more information, visit chrissybshow.tv.
It's important that you get the message across, because a lot of people are scared to say what they're scared of, but they shouldn't really be, and they should just be confident in asking for help.
It's not scary to talk to someone about how you feel, and that everybody should try and talk to someone when they need help.
I thought it was something good for the school to do, and it'd be quite fun learning the dance moves and everyone to join in with the dance.
I think it's just a very memorable experience. No one necessarily remembers their best maths lesson that they've had or their best literacy lesson, but I think they'll remember their best mental health dance challenge that they've had. So that's great, thank you.
Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. And now it's time to go over to Dr Rob Hicks with this week's Doctor's Answers. Welcome to the show, Rob.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm feeling fabulous, actually.
Wonderful. Yeah. We have some questions from our viewers once again. Are you ready?
I am always.
Okay, so first question. Due to my busy lifestyle, a friend of mine recommended registering with an online doctor. She told me the service is really good, that you can get access to a doctor really fast, and there are various drop-in clinics you can go to if you need to be examined. I'm a bit reluctant though, as it's something new for me. Are these kinds of services safe? Will I be negatively affecting my local practice? And can I be registered with both an online doctor and my local GP, whom I know and love, at the same time?
Well, this is a fabulous question because increasingly I think people are going to be asking this as online services, virtual at a distance services increase in number. So the simple answer is this.
Okay.
If you are using an online service which you actually essentially pay for, so it's a private service, then yes, you can remain registered with your NHS doctor. If the online service is actually an alternative way of providing NHS services to you, then no, you can't remain registered with your NHS doctor. You have to deregister with your local practice and register with the online service that is essentially providing services to patients on behalf of the NHS. Your question about whether it affects your practice, well, that's a sort of yes or no, because if you are deregistering, you're leaving your practice, then of course it will affect your practice because they'll lose you as a patient. However, if you are paying for the service, then no, it shouldn't affect your practice. The interesting thing about this is I think what's very important is that should you use an online service, always let your own practice, and you're still with your local practice, always let the local practice know about any consultations you've had, any diagnosis you've been given, any treatment you've been given, so they're kept in the loop. So that actually they have that on your medical record, so they know in the future what's happened. There are obviously benefits of online services. It's convenience is the major one. They're available 24/7. The downside is that for some of the services, they don't provide the full range of services or advice on health conditions that your local practice might. And then there's the issue of continuity. Will you be seeing the same person all the time? Are they safe? Well, this is where you need to do a bit of research. Check that the doctor that you're going to be consulting with is qualified. Check that the organisation is registered and that the doctor and the organisation are insured. And if you look on the website, you'll see some logos. So, for example, regulated by the CQC, the Care Quality Commission logo, means it's authentic. If it's somewhere that's offering prescriptions, then you should be able to click through to a logo that tells you that or confirms that the pharmacy is registered and actually that they're operating legally within the UK.
Just a question as well. Can you go back to your practice if you don't like the online?
You can. It's like even if it's just your local practice, if you don't get on with them, you can move to another one.
Yeah, okay.
And if you think actually I should have stayed, you can go back.
Okay, wonderful. And one more question. Don't worry, you can have an extra minute, Rob, for this one because I know we've gone over a bit. So this person says, I'm a mother of 3 and during each pregnancy I got these spots, rather like tiny lumps on my face. After giving birth to my first 2 children, my face went back to normal and the spots disappeared. However, with my 3rd child, excuse me, it's been over 1.5 years and the spots are still there. I've tried various aesthetic treatments, but they don't seem to work. Can you help?
I'll try.
Yes.
This could be acne. It could be a number of different skin conditions. So my advice to you would be let your doctor check you over and see these spots. It could be acne, but it sounds like it could be milia. These are little bumps in the skin that develop when skin flakes and keratin sort of collect under the skin, they build up and they form these bumps. Now, generally speaking with milia, after a few months they will disappear. You're saying that yours are still there after over a year. So yes, I think you need your doctor to check these out for you. In the meantime, what I would suggest is keep the area clean by washing it once daily and using a mild soap so you don't irritate the skin. Think about exfoliating the skin. Think about using sunscreen on a daily basis because that can lessen the chance of milia forming. Think about opening the pores up with steam. So that means sitting in a bathroom with the shower running hot. Don't go in front of a kettle with a steam, otherwise you might scald your skin. Yeah. And your doctor may recommend a cream that contains retinoids. And the most important thing with anything with the skin, although it's very tempting, don't fiddle with the spots. Don't try and pick them or pop them or poke them because doing so is likely to introduce infection and leave you with some scarring.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure as always.
See you again next week.
Yes, you will.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, so now it's time to go to nutritionist Severin Menem for a lovely, healthy recipe. Welcome to the show, Severine.
Hi, Chrissy.
I'm super excited because you're going to make something very yummy and nutritious. Can you tell the viewers what that is?
Yes, we're going to make black bean chocolate brownies.
Black bean, I've never heard of that combination, I have to say, but I'm sure it's going to taste amazing.
I hope so.
So come on, let's take it away then.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to prepare this this dessert because it's a bit after Easter, but so we're still in the chocolate mood.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do something that is a lot healthier than the usual chocolate that we buy in the shops.
Yes.
And also available to everyone who's got allergy to dairy, gluten and eggs. So it can be vegan basically.
Wonderful.
Cool. So let's start with oats. So we need half a cup of oats. And oats is super good. I find it's the Rolls Royce of grains. Do you know why?
No. Oh, because it's slow release energy?
Yes, it is. It's got so many vitamins and minerals, and also it's really high in fibers and really high in protein.
Okay.
So just for that, it's amazing. So we're pulsing it to get a bit of a flour. Okay, fine. Next, we're adding everything pretty much all together apart from the chocolate. Okay. So this is the black beans. Beans are usually really good because they're really high in fibers and in protein.
Okay, that's just from a tin, is it, this one?
This one is just for the tin, rinsed, but if you prepare them from scratch, don't forget to soak them overnight. It really helps with cooking them much faster, and also for people it really helps for the digestion. So black beans, but you can use red kidney beans, you can use chickpeas, you can use a lot of things. Here, instead of using eggs, we're using flaxseed. So flaxseed is high in omega-3, and the equivalent of 1 egg is 1 tablespoon of flaxseed for 3 tablespoons of water. So you have to soak it for 15 to 30 minutes so that it becomes a bit gelatinous. And then, you use it.
Okay.
So here it's 2 tablespoons of flaxseed for 6 tablespoons of water. Here it is. Okay, next is, let's take this one. So it's 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, just for the taste. Tastes a bit sweet as well, so it helps.
Nice.
This is baking powder and salt, because you want your brownie to raise a bit, but not too much. So it's 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Here it's 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay. So all this healthy stuff going in there?
Yes, olive oil. You all know this monounsaturated fats, how good they are, the Mediterranean diet. So many properties against heart disease, antifungal, antibacterial, and so on. Nice. And we're getting into the cocoa powder. So ideally 100% cocoa. So no sugar to get the best antioxidants, but otherwise, it's nice. Trying not to breathe too much.
I've already swallowed half of it.
Oops. Okay, and last but not least, in terms of sugar, we're going to use maple syrup. So we could have used a number of things, but I chose maple syrup because it's a natural sugar, and it's the 2 main minerals, manganese and zinc, but also it's got 24 different types of antioxidants.
Really?
Yes, it is a bit surprising, but yes, it's good. And if you want...
guilt-free, but obviously you can't overdo it because it is still a sugar.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say guilt-free, but it has its positives. And also you probably notice that there are different types of maple syrup. So in terms of nutrition, the best one is a darker one, if you get to choose. So it's got 7 different grades and so on. So we are going to mix that to make sure that we've got an homogeneous paste. So we can do it either very smooth or a bit crunchy, depends, what you look like, what you like. Sorry, the other way around, obviously.
Oh, the smells are coming up.
Yeah?
It smells lovely. You can smell the vanilla extract and everything.
So I'm going to open it. It's not going to jump. Fine. And then we're going to add some chocolate chips. So if you want it vegan, you have to just to make sure that the chocolate chips don't contain any milk. So we're going to, it's half a cup, but we're going to keep some for the topping.
Okay.
Probably too much, I don't know.
I'll keep
So here we're just a bit to. So that's it. It's ready to go in the oven. So we just need, a dish, 8 by 8 inches. Put in the oven for about 20-25 minutes at 180 degrees. So that's it. Ready to go on the dish.
Okay. So there's
dish.
your.
Yeah. And
Would you like a spoon?
Yeah, a spoon, please.
Yeah, my love.
So you can either use a parchment paper or just to oil it with a bit of oil or butter or what you like. Well, it depends if you want it vegan or not. Obviously.
Pour it in.
Yes.
Try and pour it in as much as you can.
So I'm going to try to
just so everyone sees the consistency.
So it's a bit thick.
It's a bit thicker than a cake mix, I suppose. Was this an all? I've never actually made brownies, so I don't know what the consistency looks like when you put it in the oven.
How you like your brownies, and also you said you wanted a bit crunchy.
Yeah.
So I like it a bit more smooth.
Do you? It smells so nice, guys.
So I tend to put it more.
Can you guys see the consistency there?
So we're pretty much done.
Yep. So how long in the oven you said? Sorry?
About 20 to 25 minutes. Again, it depends, how you like it, very cooked or not so cooked. So it's not very thick, but it raises with the baking powder.
Okay.
And if you want like a thicker brownies, obviously you use a small dish.
Now, thankfully, here's one you made earlier.
Yes.
Which
I forgot.
and
then
put the chocolate chips.
With the chocolate chips.
And then you spun it in the oven, and then you get this lovely thing here. It smells so beautiful. I have to try some.
Yeah, let's try some. Let's try some.
So healthy brownie.
Yes.
With black beans.
Exactly.
Black beans are very good for you, aren't they?
Yes. Beans are always good, full of fibers, full of protein, so really the good thing.
Look, it's really nice and squidgy in the middle, like a real brownie, but it is a real brownie.
It is a real brownie.
Wow, that's really impressive. You can't taste beanie taste, it's just like... Very nice, guys. Definitely recommend for you to make this at home. It's so easy as well.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you so much, my darling.
You're very welcome.
And now, let me see. Oh, by the way, if you'd like more information about Severine, you can visit our website, chrissybshow.tv. Scroll down and you can find all her information there. So now, actually after the break, I'll be sharing my final thought of the day, and also we treat to Liam singing a cappella Waving Through the Window from dear Evan Hansen. Thank you so much, Severine. I love this.
You're very welcome, Chrissy.
I think anything that raises the profile of mental health and gets us talking about it is a really positive thing. I think it's a really good conversation starter, and it sort of raises the profile of mental health, and hopefully everyone who's here today can go home and talk to their families about what they've done today, and the conversation can continue.
I thought it's a brilliant idea. It's so important, mental health these days, especially it's coming down into primary school age, so it's really important to get them aware of big issues now, and to talk about things.
If you don't tell anyone that depression can just build up on you and make you feel even worse, and then eventually you'll just feel like you don't want to be alive anymore.
If you don't tell anybody, nobody can help you, and it will just build on you.
Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. So as promised, we'll be listening to Liam Burgess singing a cappella in a very short while. And also I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my guests on today's program. It's been a lot of fun and hopefully educational for everybody as well. Something that I'd like to focus on today is based on the concept of being, or the topic of being misunderstood. Now, yes, I understand that being misunderstood can be can be very frustrating, it can make you feel really bad and everything, but I also think it's very, very important that we don't get our backs up about certain things. Why do I say this? I notice sometimes that some people kind of have the attitude, well, I have this condition, or I'm going through this and you should understand, and if that was really narrow-minded what you said, and blah, blah, blah. So, okay, like I said, I understand that it can be frustrating when people don't understand us when we're going through something, but I think it's so important not to lash out, not to actually have a go at the person, but instead try to educate them. I remember a very well-known TV presenter that actually made a comment about someone with autism. He asked a certain question, like, I think it was, have you always had autism? And it caused such an uproar on social media, and what a stupid thing to say, and all these kind of things. And I actually felt quite sorry for him, because he was just asking a question. He didn't know much about autism. And that was an opportunity to actually explain, for someone to explain more about it. But instead, it's like not everyone, but a lot of people lashing out. So it's very difficult to kind of raise awareness and understanding about particular things if we get this kind of backlash when someone does ask a question or says something inappropriate. Remember, many people that say inappropriate things, not because they're trying to be bad to the person or trying to offend the person. They make a comment because they just don't know any better. So I think it's our job to actually explain to people, to educate people, to let them know about certain conditions, maybe let them know that if a comment might be inappropriate in a nice way. And that way, you're not going to get people kind of closed up or afraid to ask questions, because we don't want to create that kind of culture. We want to create an open conversation about things. And if we lash out at people, if we get upset when they don't understand, that's not the way to actually go about things if we want to make any change. So that's just something that I wanted to highlight, because yes, like I said, people with mental health issues and other issues do go through a lot already, but the aim is to actually let other people know in a nice way and educate rather than lash out. So everybody, we have reached the end of today's program, but if you have a story that you would like to share, please do get in touch with us by emailing info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet or Instagram us @ChrissyBShow, or leave a message on our Facebook page of The Chrissy B Show. And if you'd like to know more about me and my mental health journey, please visit my personal website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. And now, ending the show for us is Liam Burgess singing a cappella, Waving Through the Window by Dear Evan Hansen.
I've learned to slam on the brakes before I've even turned the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I've got nothing to share, no, I've got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun, because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I'll wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong. But every sun doesn't rise, and no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun, because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I Try to speak but nobody can hear, so I'll wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I never made a sound. Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I'll wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving, waving, waving,